right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Temperatures this afternoon got to 51 degrees. We're just days away from the end of the year. Why this trend won't continue for our last day of the year, and if we can see any more days like that to start off 2024.
A skating coach seriously injured in a devastating car crash. How the community is rallying support as she recovers. A disappointing celebration. What some Mizzou fans found outside a popular Midtown venue after the team's Cotton Bowl win.
You think you're just going to have a good, fun night out, and then you turn into a victim, and it kind of discourages you from wanting to go out anymore in the city.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Robert Townsend. Brent is off tonight. Many Mizzou fans are still soaking up yesterday's big win over Ohio State, but some became targets as the Tigers sealed the victory. 5 on your side's Andy Kroll spoke with one of the victims after a string of break-ins outside the Armory.
Driving in from Jefferson County, Kevin went to the Armory in Midtown on Friday night to watch the Cotton Bowl Classic. As Mizzou took on Ohio State, at least one suspect broke into his car in the Goodwill parking lot, stealing his laptop, headphones, and backpack, worth about $2,000.
Since we weren't parked in the actual Armory parking lot, that they weren't going to compensate us or have that discussion. The GM then came down and offered to cover our bar tab the next time we wanted to come down, which wasn't going to be anywhere near, what I lost in my computer equipment and my brother's and everybody else's windows.
For safety, Kevin wanted to keep his last name private. His car was just one of 8 vehicles broken into on Friday night. Another victim was his brother, Philip. This is one of the broken windows from Kevin's brother's car, still on the ground the next day. Not to mention one of his front windows that was also smashed and fell in on him as he was leaving the parking lot after watching the Mizzou Bowl game. These photos are what the brothers found at the car. Glass shattered and gaping holes left behind.
There was actually some folks that had been broken into before in this area, and they were just like, oh, it happened again. Let's keep it moving. So, yeah, it's, like I said, just a little discouraging, but just very, very grateful that we didn't get hurt, or no one in this situation got hurt.
The Armory telling us they haven't had a break-in on their property since about February, highlighting their fencing, professional security patrols, and security cameras. In a statement Saturday, the Armory saying, quote, "For large events, we also offer secured fenced parking with security patrols to the west of our building, adjacent to hazard moving and storage. These are dedicated lots for our guests that are secure whenever in use. The investigation for a possible suspect is ongoing." Reporting in Midtown, Andy Kroll, 5 on your side.
Now, the Armory is encouraging customers to only park in their secure parking lots whenever possible, especially with New Year's Eve tomorrow. This last Saturday of 2023 brought us some pretty mild weather. Meteorologist Gary Franks here with the first look at your New Year's Eve forecast. Hey, Gary.
Yeah, good evening, Robert. For the most part, it's quiet. We've got another, I would say, let's call it 28 hours left or so, 26, I guess, of the year. And, we're working our way closer to that. But it's not all that bad right now. We haven't dropped just yet. It's been a quiet day. It was a warmer day. We've had clouds settle in from the northwest. We have clear skies. I think that's going to allow our temperatures to drop overall, but there is some cloud cover to the north, and that's going to act as a blanket. It also may bring a few flurries, but it's part of this cold front that's settling into our area. And right now, we can still tell that temperatures haven't dropped a ton right now, as we're still above freezing in many cases, 41 degrees. We now have a west breeze at 6 miles an hour as that continues to work its way from a different direction eventually, still out of the west-southwest, and until it switches and brings in some of that colder air, we're staying above freezing. 35 St. Charles, 42 in Cahokia Heights. Even at this hour, these are our average high temperatures. You're talking about 2 days before January 1st. Overnight, I think overall, temps not changing a whole lot for the next several hours. We will see that possibility as we get closer to 30 degrees of a few flurries, but we'll talk about what it feels like tomorrow in terms of wind chill and when we'll see our temps warm back up close to where they were today.
A devastating car accident is keeping a beloved figure skating coach off the ice. Now, the figure skating community is rallying support for their injured coach. 5 on your side's Tracy Henson spoke with her daughter today about her recovery.
If I was with her, I would have died. Looking at the damage, it's amazing anyone could have survived this crash, but Maria did.
The guy runs the red light.
It happened December 16th on North Market Street near North Grand in the city.
It literally flips her car over.
Camille's grandmother called her.
In this low tone, she's like, "Hey, Camille, your mom got in a car accident and it's not looking good."
The car had been bent in around Maria. St. Louis City fire crews had to rescue her.
And she couldn't move one of her legs.
Maria suffered multiple fractures, mostly to her pelvis.
I just laid next to her and I'm really tired a lot, so I fell asleep with her.
A few days later, Maria had surgery. She was in the hospital through Christmas, but she's improved enough to be moved to a rehabilitation facility.
So that's really good. She's trying to walk again, and I think she can with a walker.
Camille says her mom is normally on the move. Maria is an ice skating coach and can usually be heard saying this at the rink.
She'll be like, "Move your tushy."
And with an attitude like that, Camille says Maria is ready to go home.
She wants to be charged Wednesday, but she can't even put her socks on.
Even with insurance, accidents like Maria's come at a great cost. Her friends from the ice rink have a GoFundMe to help her through recovery.
She'll be able to go back to what she loves, again, but I don't think it'll ever be the same.
Her friends from skating said they are hopeful that she will return to the ice. Tracy Henson, 5 on your side.
We have a link to Maria's GoFundMe page on KSDK.com. You can find it in the As Seen on TV section. Right now, we're working to learn more about a death investigation in North St. Louis. Police found a body on Goodfellow Boulevard around 9:30 this morning, close to the Goodfellow Federal Center. Now, police have not identified the victim or said how they died. We will keep you updated as information becomes available. Now to new information about 2 deadly shootings from this week. The victims have now been identified. Police say 20-year-old Kashayla Wellington was shot and killed inside a running car at Martin Luther King Drive and Kings Highway Boulevard early Friday morning. Right now, we still don't know a motive or anything about a possible suspect. The man who was fatally shot in the head Thursday night has also been identified. 47-year-old Claude Adams was found dead on North 1st Street. No suspect has been identified. St. Louis police are still investigating both of these shootings. If you have any information, you're asked to call them or Crime Stoppers at 866-371-TIPS. Three Kings Public House is rising up from the ashes and reopening its flagship location on the Delmar Loop. The new spot will be right next to the old building across from the Tivoli Movie Theater. Three Kings burned down, you'll remember, after a kitchen fire back in April. While it's been a tough year, owner Derek Deaver says things are looking up.
This one had a really big place in my heart because this is where we kind of really figured out what Three Kings was. So it's been bittersweet, but now that we're able to finally call a new place home, the excitement is starting to get back up. Yeah.
The new 2-story spot can seat up to 300 people at a time. It's expected to open in time for the 420 Fest at the Loop in April. It's a birthday party like you've never seen. How the St. Louis Aquarium celebrated its popular otter trio. Enjoying a night out on a cold winter's night? We'll verify if alcohol really does help keep you warm.
We're tracking this system to the north. That's going to bring us cold air in the overnight hours. What that means for your Sunday, what it feels like outside, and how long that cold air sticks around.
Reported this week along with 6 deaths. Missouri is seeing moderate flu levels, but neighboring states like Illinois, Kentucky, and Tennessee are seeing high or very high levels of the virus. If you're looking to get a flu shot, you have a few options here in the St. Louis area. There are more than 24 clinics across the region. You can find a full list of flu shot clinics in our area at stlouis-mo.gov. Today, the St. Louis Aquarium held a birthday party for its trio of river otters. Thatcher, Finn, and Sawyer turned 5 years old today. Now, they got to munch on a 5-tier birthday cake. Look at that, to celebrate. One of the trainers at the aquarium made it especially for them.
He made the first layer out of sweet potato and carrot. The second layer is soft shell crab. And then the next one up is smelt with fish juice. The next one up is veggies, so it's lettuce and pepper. And then the last one is blended up squid with lots more fish juice and frozen fish candles at the top. Something only enticing to North American river otters.
Yeah, really cute. At one time, the river otter was nearly eradicated from North America due to habitat loss and fur hunting. Now they're a thriving species, again, with little to no threat of extinction.
Well, the last few mornings have been actually well above average and not all that far from where we should be in the afternoon. How long that trend continues and what we're expecting for the final day of the year.
The busy holiday travel season is not over yet. AAA says this will be the second busiest travel period since 2000. They're sticking to their estimate that more than 115 million people will travel more than 50 miles from home between December 23rd and January 1st. Luckily for drivers, little traffic is expected for both tomorrow and Monday. St. Louis Lambert Airport has seen large crowds during the holiday season. Nearly 230,000 travelers came through the airport between December 13th and December 26th. Now things are a little calmer than usual, but travel experts tell us that can change throughout the day.
This is very surprising, the lack of crowds we're seeing during the holiday season. You never know, though, certain times of the day attract more people, but I think the holiday falling on Monday this year has just kind of changed the days that people have come and go for this season.
Even with the smaller crowds, if you're flying before or after New Year's, you are encouraged to arrive about 2 hours early. Well, drinking alcohol might make you feel warmer, but does it actually help keep you warm? Brandon Lewis from our National Verified team looks into it.
When you have an alcoholic drink, you've likely also felt warmer. So there's a belief that drinking booze can help you stay warmer outdoors on a cold night. But is that really the case? Let's verify. Our sources are the California Department of Alcoholic Beverage Control, the Banyan Treatment Centers, the National Gallery of Art, and Dr. Harriet Davis with Novant Health. Alcohol doesn't actually increase your body temperature. Instead, it makes your heart rate increase and your blood vessels dilate or widen, tricking your body into thinking it's overheating. The process moves heat away from your core and to your skin to cool you down. Davis says this means if you're outside in cold weather, then drinking alcohol could increase your risk of hypothermia. So no, drinking alcohol does not help you stay warmer. It actually cools you down. So where did this myth come from? The National Gallery of Art blames artist Sir Edwin Landseer. In 1820, he created this famous painting showing two dogs rescuing an alpine hiker with small kegs of brandy around their necks. However, the National Gallery says rescue dogs never actually carried alcohol. But thanks to the painting, the myth carried on. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
If you have anything you want us to verify, just email us right here at KSDK.com. Again, that's verify@KSDK.com. Well, today wasn't a bad December day at all, and of course, New Year's Eve is tomorrow. Meteorologist Gary Frank joining us now with the Weather First forecast. Hey, Gary.
Yeah, good evening. For the most part, overall, pretty quiet outside. We'll continue to look the big picture. Not much going on as opposed to the last few days where we continued to see rain and snow, and then it all melted and it was wet, but everything's dried up nicely now for the most part. 51 degrees was our high today. Pretty impressive. Locally upper 40s. So, you know, as we warmed up nicely, I think overall you'll still continue to see not only are we warm in the afternoon, but it's been warm in the morning, and that's why our average temperature so far this month is the 5th warmest all time, averaging out at 45.5 almost. So we're going to see a change to this the last day of the year, but still it's going to end up being a warm year overall. Cloud cover to the north, that is our next front, but we're in the upper 30s. 37 in Alton right now. This is not significantly cold air, but it's still sitting there, and it's going to continue to be on the colder side here overall, with temperatures here in the upper 30s and low 40s into the overnight hours. We're going to drop to around 30 degrees. We're going to continue to see breeze pick up and switch from the west all the way to the northwest, and that's what we'll see into the overnight hours. 30 degrees for us. It's going to feel cooler than that tomorrow morning. We have a northwest breeze at around 10 to 15 miles an hour. By midday, it'll be gusting to around 25. That's what you'll really feel tomorrow as we continue to see that wind pretty significant. We're going to struggle to get to 40 tomorrow, pretty close to average, but it is going to be a great day, a good day to be inside as that northwest breeze at 15 to 20. But as you're going outdoors for your plans, outdoors, traveling in between parties, whatever it may be, 34, 33, and 30, not all that bad, but let's talk about the wind chill, because the wind is going to be the factor for us tonight. We're not going to feel it quite as much, like I mentioned. Tomorrow morning, it'll feel about 20 degrees, but low to mid 20s, 19. I mean, it's going to be chilly for us. Overall, I think the pattern starts to exit. We're going to see this cooler air exit. By Tuesday, we warm back up. We'll see these little minor blips, no major storm systems other than cooler air for Thursday, and then right back up Friday, and then cooler on Saturday. So for the next few days, we're not going to see much of a change as we ring in the new year. Pretty nice, 41, not all that bad. And then we'll start to see chances. I'm optimistic about either Saturday or Monday or Tuesday of early next week. And that's, that's maybe our best next bet at rain. So we'll dry out a little bit until then.
We'll take it. Thanks, Gary. Now Corey joins us now with a look at what's next in sports.
It is the story we can't get enough of. The Tigers' victory in the Cotton Bowl still has the entire state of Missouri buzzing. We'll hear even more from those triumphant Tigers coming up after the break.
The Sports Desk is sponsored by Jim Butler Chevrolet, the Midwest's #1 Chevy dealer 10 years running.
So far, the honeymoon phase has been pretty good for Drew Bannister and the Blues. They won 5 of his first 7 games and showed a spark. Tonight, the Note were trying to avoid their first taste of consecutive losses under the new man in charge. Blues in Pittsburgh tonight facing the always tough Penguins and Sidney Crosby to cap their 2023. Down 1-0, Jordan Kyrou, perfect pass to Robert Thomas on the power play. We are tied at 1. 5 minutes later, Penguins on a power play of their own, and Evgeny Malkin evens things up at 2 apiece. Done that a few times in his career. Pittsburgh up 3-1 at this point, but the Blues don't quit. Perunovic on net, tipped by Kapanen. We got a 1-goal game. But Joel Hofer was pulled for an extra attacker, and Sidney Crosby capitalizes. Empty netter, Penguins win 4-2. Here's coach on what he did not like tonight.
We can't make those mistakes in the neutral zone. We can't take those penalties. It's just the margin of errors is just, it's too small, and we got to be better in those areas.
Mizzou back on top, baby. MIZ.
The Missouri Tigers were picked to finish 6 out of 7 teams in the SEC East this year. They aimed to prove they were better than that. I don't know if anybody thought they'd prove this much, though. 11-2 Cotton Bowl champs in a season that will be remembered for years to come. Last night looked bleak for quite a while, though. The defense dominated the whole way through against Ohio State, and eventually the offense broke through in the 4th quarter to clinch the 14-3 victory. Cody Schrader became the all-time single-season rushing leader in Mizzou history. The defense pitched one of the most impressive bowl performances in program history, and the Tigers turned something to prove into something proven.
I mean, I am so proud, because this is how you cap off a season after bouncing back like that. This is how you cap it off.
This means everything. Man, just to be here, be in this moment, be with this team, man, it's a dream come true. Like you said, man, you know my story, you know my journey. I never thought I'd be here in 2023 as Cotton Bowl champs.
When you look at our team, we're a bunch of Wilderness Brotherhood guys who stick together, fight together, found a way to love each other and had each other's back. And I knew it at any point, at the locker room, these guys will tell you, I was telling them we're right where we want to be, right where we want to be. Let's just go win the game.
Mizzou basketball is back in action today. Dennis Gates and company hosting Central Arkansas. Tamar Bates was the star of this one. He went 9 of 10 from the field for 25 points. Here was the play of the day. Nick Honor, Aiden Shaw, half-court alley-oop. Shaw throws it down. Mizzou won this one 92-59. High school hoops, coaches versus cancer tournament final. DeSmet and Webster Groves in a really good one. Statesmen start strong. Isaiah Purvey That's good for 3 from the top of the arc. Spartans respond. Jordan Boyd, tough finish, and 1. Here's the talented Webster Groves freshman, Scotty Atkinson, drives. That is good. Smet was money from deep tonight, too. Braden Butler gonna hit from the corner. However, it was Webster Groves who came out on top. They beat DeSmet 60-55 to win the Coaches versus Cancer tournament. Third place game at the Midwest Invitational featured 2 local teams, Principia against host St. Joseph's Academy. Pretty wild play here. St. Joe's picks off a pass, moves it up the court, and Piper Mooney is going to finish it off on the other end. Principia was good in the paint and 1 for Deja Scott. Angels were too good at home, though. Amali McBride, she hits from deep. St. Joseph's wins 73-42. And with an ending like that for Mizzou football, everybody's already looking forward to next year. Maybe a top 10 ranking to start the year. College football playoff expands to 12. Tiger fans dreaming pretty big right now.
Hey, we Mizzou fans are excited about a whole lot, huh?
Oh, yes. A lot to be excited about.
Corey, thanks. Gary's here now with a final look at our weather.
Yeah, overall, we got an hour and a half left in this day and then 24 more hours left of the year, and it's going to be a cold one tomorrow. We'll start off with, it's that wind that you're really going to feel. With 39, probably feels like 26 throughout the day and even colder at midnight. But by Monday, we'll start to rebound, and there's nothing too crazy cold here over the next 7 to 10 days. And Robert, I know you like to hear that. At least we get further we get into January.
Exactly. Let me tell you this: not too bad for this last weekend.
You got
of
it.
the year, right?
You got it.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, well, that's all of our time for 5 on Your Side at 10. Saturday Night Live is coming your way next. Join us for Today in St. Louis tomorrow morning, bright and early at 6 a.m.